Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. I hope you all are doing well at your home. So, we will be continuing with our earlier session on ocular drug delivery system, and in which we have discussed basic introduction about ocular drug delivery system, their fundamentals, formulation fundamentals, their variety of formulations used for ocular administration of drug, and the OcuCert and the Lacrycerts, contact lenses. Now, we will discuss and we will be continuing the same topic what we have discussed in last session, that is OcuCerts. So, basically we have discussed about the basic introduction of OcuCerts and related factor like formulation considerations. Now, we will talk about the method of preparation of OcuCerts. So, without wasting much time, we will discuss about it. So, number one method for preparing OcuCert is solvent casting method. So, solvent casting method is a method in which drug, polymer, plasticizer, solvent are mixed together in different ratio to make uniform dispersion. So, first we will make uniform dispersion to make further film or OcuCerts or insert for ocular administration. Now, that dispersion is poured onto a clean petri dish and covered to allow slow and uniform evaporation for 48 hours under room temperature. That means, we let the mixture of dispersion onto a petri dish for to get solidified in nature, so that we can separate out that film and we can use it for further evaluation. Now, the dried film formed after 48 hours was later cut by a sterile cork borer into circular pieces of definite shape and size. So, this is how you make OcuCert using solvent casting method. Next method is glass substrate technique. In this, drug, polymer, plasticizer, solvent mixture, as I have told you in the last session, variety of components can be used to make OcuCerts like plasticizer, antioxidant, preservative, polymer, drug content. So, these all are the mandatory components to make ocular. So, this is how we make OcuCert using all these ingredients along with that active component. So, all these ingredients along with that API or active pharmaceutical ingredient will mix together and poured into the center of leveled glass mold and allowed to dry at room temperature for 1 day or 24 hours. Now, the dried film was cut into required size and shape, and this of matrix film is sandwiched between the rate controlling membrane. I have told you that pilocarpine OcuCerts are available in market, and I have shown you that pilocarpine OcuCert in the previous session in which both side of the OcuCert rate control membrane is present. So, basically this membrane on the drug reservoir is sandwiched to make or to control the rate of drug release, right. So, then after this, third method is melt extrusion technique, in which the drug and polymer sieve through required mesh size. It is mentioned here 60 mesh size, followed by the addition of plasticizers, right. So, plasticizers provide the flexibility to the dosage form, that is why we add plasticizers with drug and polymer, right. The blend is then charged to barrel of the melt flow rate apparatus and extrude it. Basically, this is done using the melt extrusion apparatus, and after this we can get the desired shape of the OcuCert. The extrudate was later cut into the required size. Extrudate is basically what we are getting from the extrusion apparatus is known as extrudate, which is quite similar to the film or the insert formed, but it is as it is coming out from the extrusion process, that it is termed as extrudate. That extrudate is cut into the desired piece of the occlusert. Right. Next method is gel form disc method, in which the drug and polymer mixture was placed onto gel form disc. Diameter is generally between or equal to 4 nano mm, right, micrometer in size, and thickness is 0.5 micrometer, and kept under vacuum for 72 hours. So, these are the condition needs to be maintained for making these gel foam disc. The dried matrix or the insert are taken out for further evaluation. Yes, evaluation is also an important aspect of these occluserts. Otherwise, how will you know that the occlusert prepared using all these methods are up to the mark or giving apt performance or not, right? Next method is mold preparation. So, in this method, the mixture of polymer, drug and other excipients are injected into mold and allowed to set at 45 degree centigrade for 24 hours. You see, in all these methods we have observed that we allow the dispersion or the mixture to set into a shape of inserts or films for up to 24 to 48 hours. So, it will take time, and naturally with the time it gets solidified, and then we can get separated the film formed and cut into the desired shape, right. The resulting rubbery cylinders diameter is 0.9 mm and length is 22 mm are appropriately removed for further evaluation. So, this is there the various methods we have discussed to prepare occluserts in the lab as well as commercial level. So, now after formulating all these occluserts with different approaches, we have to evaluate all these prepared occlusert to ensure that the drug is releasing properly from the occlusert, as well as it has no physical defects and can be used by the patient well, right. So, number one is physical appearance. It is very important in case of these occlusert preparation, because if it is rough, if it does not have smooth surface, then it may not look good to a patient who are the end customer of using all these preparations, and also it may cause some sort of irritation when put in eye, right, because it has grittiness, it may have grittiness, that is why it is not a smooth surface, it is having rough surface. So, we have to check first before going for further studies that the occlusal surface or the texture of occlusal should be very smooth, right, should be appealing, we can say. Now, the occluserts are observed visually for their physical appearance, such as colored and transparency. If it is not transparent, that it may hamper the vision of the patient when applied to the eye, right. Now, next is thickness of the film. It is important parameter, because if the occlusert is more thick, then it may interfere with the vision of the patient. Though it needs to be transparent, but always remember that the dosage form what we are preparing for the disease condition patients should be very favorable for their patients, because if patient acceptability is not there, then no need of making all these approaches with such a compact techniques, right. So, thickness of the film which is measured by dial caliper at different point of the mean value and is calculated. That means, the thickness of the occlusert should be uniform all over the surface. Now, drug content uniformity, the cast film cut at different places and tested for drug content as per monograph, right. The monograph or the reference is provided in your Indian pharmacopoeia, US pharmacopoeia, British pharmacopoeia. So, all these references in which the monograph for that particular drug is available, you have to check the procedure and finally, the drug content of the OcuCert, that it is uniformly distributed all over the surface or all over the area of OcuCert. As so, you see that we are cutting the parts from different places in the particular OcuCert. So, we need to check all the parts for drug content uniformity, that every part of the OcuCert is having the same content of drug or not. So, it is very another important parameter to check. Now, uniformity of weight. Yes, there are various batches which we prepare at industrial scale. So, we need to always remember that the weight of the OcuCerts preparing in a batch should be uniform enough. Otherwise, if the batch weight is not uniform, that we can say that the desired component of drug component, we can say that the amount of drug is going to individual OcuCert may vary if it is not uniform. That means, if the drug content is variable in different OcuCert prepared in a same batch, that may give different type of therapeutic effect in patients. So, it is very important to identify the weight in of OcuCert prepared in the batch. So, we have to assure that the weight of all the OcuCerts should remain uniform. So, it is done by cutting and weighing 3 batch from the same formulation batch. So, it can be evaluated like this. Now, after weight uniformity, the sterility factor is again an important aspect, right. So, sterile, the OcuCert needs to be sterile before using, or the preparation while preparing all these OcuCerts, it needs to be sterilized well, so that no microbial contamination takes place in the OcuCert. So, inserts are sterilized using gamma irradiation to confirm the presence of microbial growth, right. So, if there is any microbial growth which is above the limit not prescribed as per the standards, then we can't say that the dosage form prepared is up to the mark. So, we have to reject that formulation batch if there is microbial presence. Otherwise, it may cause the microbial growth may become increased while using the OcuCerts. And done before carrying out eye irritancy and in vivo release studies. Yes, it needs to be done before, because eye irritancy may be due to presence of microbes, right. They may cause infection and you may have inflammation on the eye surface, and in vivo release study, then no need to check the release study if it is having microbial contamination in it. So, before going to check the eye irritancy study and in vivo release, we have to check the microbial load in the OcuCert, right. Now, surface pH determination. Potentiometric methods involves measuring the potential difference between electrodes placed in the examined and reference solution of known pH, right. So, pH is very important for ocular preparations, as if dosage form or the device which we are using for eye ocular administration is having different pH from the eye, then that it will definitely cause you the irritation and inflammation into the eye when applied, right. So, we have to be very sure that the pH determination it's done already, and it has uniform pH, or with the use of buffers in the preparation, we can manage this pH determination and pH maintenance in the preparation. So, potentiometric methods involves measuring the potential difference. How we can check the pH of the occlusert. This is the method that we use, potentiometric method, in which different electrodes measure the pH of this preparation or the solution we use from the preparation, right. So, next is swelling index, percentage. It is always in percentage, right. So, it can be calculated. Swelling means upon absorption of moisture. So, the occlusert may get swelled. So, how much it is swelled out while applying. So, it is very important to understand, because once it gets swelled, it will start releasing drug to the target site. So, swelling index is again an important parameter. So, percent swelling index can be calculated using this formula, as you can see in the slide, W 2 minus W 1 divided by W 1 into 100. So, W 1 and W 2 represents the original weight of insert and weight of swollen insert respectively. So, how you calculate swelling index using this formula of the preparation. Next is clarity examination. It is very important for occluserts, like visual assessment of formulation in suitable lighting on white and black background. This is official methods through which we can evaluate the ocular film, occluserts and the related product for ocular administration. So, clarity examination, as we are claiming that occluserts needs to be transparent, then it is just not like physical appearance is giving the transparent result, that means it is transparent. No, it needs to be further evaluated for clarity assessment using some sort of equipments, analytical equipments, like visual assessment of the formulation in suitable lighting on white and black background, performed for all liquid forms except suspension, because they may have different solid phase dispersed in the liquid medium, right. So, another method involved transmittance measurement using a UV visible spectrophotometer. So, again we can check this clarity assessment using UV visible spectrophotometer. So, this can be done using UV spectrophotometric analysis as well. Particle size and morphology. So, for identifying different particles present in the system, it is for generalized, not for occluserts. It may be of gel formulation, it may be for liquids, basically it is for liquids. So, particle size and solid emulsion, suspensions, all of them. So, morphology, how will you check the morphology? Morphology means the surface and topographical presentation of the preparation and texture of the particle present in the system, dosage form. So, you can check all these things, morphology and particle size, using the mentioned techniques like optical microscopy, that is microscopic particle count test. Now, next is light obscuration particle count test. Next, dynamic imaging analysis, laser diffraction particle analyzers, electron microscopy, dynamic light scattering, Coulter counter test, nanoparticle tracking analysis. All these techniques can be used to determine particle size as well as to morphology of the particles present in the system. Now, next is your percentage moisture absorption. Again, very important, it should be very optimized in a range. Otherwise, if more moisture absorption quality is present of any of the eye preparation or dosage form, then it may have variety of effects on the drug release, or it may have different drug release profile, and more drug release will be there if more absorption is there. So, because more absorption means more swelling. Then if we are targeting that the drug to be released in a controlled manner, then we have to check all these percent swelling and moisture absorption percent, right. So, pre-weighed occluserts are placed in a desiccator after 3 days after keeping of these ocucerts for 3 days, ocular films are reweighed to calculate percent moisture absorbed by the following formula, right. So, percent moisture absorbed is can be calculated using W2 minus W1 divided by W1 into 100, where W1 and W2 are the initial and final weights of insert respectively. So, there is slight difference between percent swelling and moisture absorption. Now, percent moisture loss. Percent moisture loss is another evaluation parameter for ocucerts, like to check the integrity of the ocucert in dry condition. The ocular inserts are wet and kept in desiccators, right. So, percent moisture loss, if basically there are conditions to use these contact lenses ocucert, that it should be pre-soaked before using or before applying to the eye. But if it is not done, then also percent moisture loss needs to be calculated to give the proper conditions to the patients before using, right. So, after 3 days the ocular insert are reweighed and percentage moisture loss is calculated using the following formula. Moisture loss percent is equal to W1 minus W2 divided by W2 into 100. So, whereas W1 and W2 are the initial and final weights of ocucert respectively. Now, we will talk about in vitro methods. You see how apart from that solids capsule, you have heard that in vitro drug release can be obtained using a basket type apparatus, dissolution type apparatus, type 1, type 2 as per IP, USP and PP. So, but how we check or evaluate the in vitro release for these ocular films or any type of films or inserts. So, in the in vitro drug release from the different ocucerts was studied using the classical standard cylindrical tube fabricated in the laboratory bichamber donor receptor compartment model. So, this the equipment is termed as bichamber donor receptor compartment model. So, drug solution is placed in the donor compartment, right, and buffer medium is placed in between donor and receptor compartment. Drug diffused in the receptor compartment is measured at time intervals. Basically, we can say that donor compartment is having drug formulation, where it is with time it is getting released to the receptor compartment, and we have to evaluate the samples collected from the receptor compartment at particular intervals. So, you see this is the assembly where donor compartment is here. In this area the film or patch you have prepared has been put, and this is the sampling port, this is the receptor compartment, this is the receptor compartment, this is the receptor compartment, and this is the magnetic stirrer to give the ambient condition, like eye. If you are preparing a formulation for eye, then you have to maintain conditions as well, like temperature and movement of the tear fluid and eye. All these consideration needs to be put while experimenting, right. So, this donor compartment release the drug into the receptor compartment, and through the sampling port we can collect out a particular 1 ml or 5 ml samples at varying time intervals. After that collecting the samples, we will check the drug content in all the samples per the time, right, for 30 minutes, for 1 hour, for 1.5 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, up to 8 hours, or whatever the experimentation study time is there. You will collect the sample and check the evaluation for its drug content present or releasing out. So, this is how we check the drug content in the ocucerts using this procedure, right. Now, the in vivo studies. Basically, eye irritancy study is done because we are making these dosage form for particularly eye eye, right. So, examination are usually carried out on rabbits. Dosage form is applied to one eye of animal or rabbit and the other eye serve as control. Means this eye, so without having any dosage form occusert is termed or considered as control group eye, and the application of occusert on the rabbit eye or animal eye will be the test group, right. Then dosage form is removed carefully at regular interval and are analyzed for drug content, right. So, the drug after sacrificing the animal, so we will check how much drug is penetrated to the eye layer or across the eye membrane, so that we can have an idea as compared with the control group, this much of a drug has been penetrated to the testing group, right. The drug is remaining is subtracted from the initial drug content, which will give the amount of drug absorbed in the eye at particular time, or otherwise we can do that how much drug present in the sample after termination of the therapy in from the animals. We can check the drug present in the occusert after the therapy, what we have removed after the study, and then we can check for drug content determination. It is very simple to check, as it does not contain any animal sacrifice. So, after 1 week of wash period, the experiment was repeated for 2 times as before, right. So, this is how we do in vivo. Another subtypes of in vivo methods are bottle method, diffusion method, modified rotating blast method, modified rotating paddle apparatus. So, all these methods can be used using the eye film of the animal, which we have used in the study. Now, accelerated stability studies is also observed in case of their integrity of the occuserts on the storage. So, it predicts the breakdown that may occur over prolonged period of storage at normal shelf life. To check normal shelf condition, to check the strength and stability of occusert prepared, we have to check for stability studies as well. And we do accelerated stability study as per ICH guidelines. The dosage form is kept at elevated temperature or humidity or intensity of light or oxygen. Sample is taken after regular interval of time and analyzed for drug content, right. So, from these results, graphical data treatment is plotted and shelf life and expiry date are determined. So, how will you give the shelf life of a product or expiry? Using these stability studies, one can have all these data regarding shelf life and expiry. So, these are some marketed products. As you see, I have made one table which represents the brand name, drug and dosage form, and the uses. So, variety of ocular dosage forms have been prepared or are available in the market. As you see, AccuVale, it contains 4.5 mg ketorolac tromethylamine solution 0.545% in a single use vial for cataract surgery. Likewise, we have Elestat, Ozurdex, Predfort, Triveris and Zymar and many more. So, I have just highlighted a few of them, and you see that they are a variety, they are available for variety of condition like cataract, allergic conjunctivitis, retinal vein occlusion, bulbular conjunctiva, sympathetic ophthalmia, bacterial conjunctivitis. So, all these preparations are available for these particular indications, and these are the references where I get these data, and I hope you understand about the ocular therapy of different in different terms, right, from formulation to the evaluation part and basic introduction. I have highlighted all these things very clearly. I hope these session on ocular drug delivery system will give you benefits, and you will have a great understanding for these topics. and in continuation of this unit, we will be discussing about intrauterine drug delivery system as well in upcoming session. Till then, stay safe and take care. Thank you.